This wasn't a sudden escape. This wasn't a lifestyle pivot. And this definitely wasn't Meghan Markle choosing peace. This was pressure. Quiet, elite, suffocating pressure, and it started inside Montecito. Because Meghan Markle didn't just wake up one morning, look at the ocean, and decide to pack her bags. Something broke first. And when things break in Montecito, they don't explode, they disappear. Montecito looked perfect on paper. The kind of place you move to when you believe you've reached the final level. Billionaire neighbors, locked gates, privacy as a currency, the illusion of arrival. And for a while, it worked. But then something shifted quietly. No fights, no scandals, no dramatic confrontations, just fewer invites, fewer drop-ins, fewer let's grab coffee moments, conversations ending sooner, smiles without warmth. And in Montecito, that's the signal. Because people there don't tell you you're out. They just stop letting you in. Here's what Meghan misread. This isn't Hollywood. Montecito doesn't care about podcasts. It doesn't care about Netflix deals. It doesn't care how many headlines you dominate. The people there already have more money than celebrities and none of the patience. They like quiet, predictable, low drama living. Meghan brought the opposite. Constant coverage, constant explanations, always launching, relaunching, correcting narratives, reframing stories, living in headlines instead of behind hedges. By mid-2025, the vibe had changed completely. Not rude, not hostile, distant. And distance in Montecito is never accidental. It's a warning. It means people don't want to be anywhere near whatever comes next. Because here's the truth nobody likes saying out loud, Meghan started to feel risky. Not because of one scandal, not jealousy, not hatred, but because her name kept dragging attention, questions, and noise into a place that hates all three. Once that happens, staying becomes unbearable. You feel it at dinners, in conversations that end early, in the way people stop looping you in. And when comfort turns into discomfort, you don't announce your exit. You start planning one, even if you tell yourself it's your choice. But Montecito wasn't the first door that quietly closed. Hollywood got there first, and this is the part Meghan Markle didn't see coming. Hollywood didn't attack her. Hollywood didn't cancel her. Hollywood did something worse. It stopped calling. At first, everything looked flawless. Big deals, massive headlines, Spotify, Netflix, interviews everywhere. From the outside, it looked like she'd cracked the post-royal code. But behind the scenes, the tempo slowed. Meetings took longer to schedule. Projects dragged. Decisions stalled. Spotify was the first warning sign. The deal didn't end with celebration, no second wave. No expansion, no we loved working together. It just ended. No follow-up, no future plan, no momentum. And in Hollywood, that silence is loud. Netflix came next. Yes, the first project got attention, but attention without momentum is useless. There was no rush to announce what was next. No leaks. No industry buzz. When studios believe in you, they push. When they don't, they let you fade. By late 2025, Meghan's name wasn't coming up in rooms anymore. Not as drama, not as controversy, just not at all. Agents stopped prioritizing her. PR teams shifted focus. Executives stopped asking what's next for Meghan and started asking who else do we have? That's when the window starts closing. And everyone notices, including the same Montecito neighbors who were already pulling away. Now, two things were happening at once. Hollywood going cold, home becoming uncomfortable, and that's when the slide stopped being slow. Because the next rejection didn't come from studios. It came from celebrities. Stars don't ghost people for no reason. By late 2025, something felt off. No group photos, no casual celebrity backing, no surprise pop-ups, no famous friends quietly defending her online. That's not normal in celebrity culture. Distancing there is subtle but unmistakable. Texts answered later. Plans that never happened. Everyone suddenly busy forever. Then came the moment nobody could ignore. Jennifer Aniston. According to multiple reporters and insider chatter, Meghan made polite, neighborly overtures, gifts, friendly gestures, standard Hollywood warmth. And it went nowhere. No response, no acknowledgement, no follow-up. That silence said everything. Because when someone like Jennifer Aniston doesn't engage, the message is clear without being spoken: don't involve me. After that, the pattern spread. No invites, no collaborations, no casual encounters. This wasn't about hatred. It was about complication. Celebrities protect their peace. If being around someone brings questions, awkward headlines, or non-stop drama, they retreat quietly and permanently. And once that protection disappears, pressure builds fast. Which brings us to the real turning point: money. Bad press is annoying. Social awkwardness is uncomfortable. But money problems? Those force movement. By the second half of 2025, whispers weren't about vibes anymore. They were about numbers. The Montecito house looked incredible, but it wasn't cheap. Security alone cost a fortune. Staff, lawyers, PR teams, maintenance, travel. The meter never stopped. And one name kept coming up behind the scenes: Tyler Perry. For a long time, he was the safety net. Security, space, stability, power. But by 2025, that support started feeling tense, not publicly, privately, because generosity changes when timelines show up. When money flows, nobody asks questions. When it slows, everything gets audited. Suddenly, help needs an end date. Suddenly, math matters more than loyalty. And once that happens, Montecito stops making sense, because you don't stay in the most expensive, high-maintenance bubble possible when the safety net feels thinner. That's when moving stops being about preference. It becomes about survival. And once money enters the conversation, every other problem speeds up. This is where the story stops being emotional and starts being mathematical. Because by this stage, nothing was about image anymore. It was about cash flow and whether the Meghan Markle brand could still pay for the life it was advertising. Montecito wasn't just a house. It was a burn rate. Security doesn't pause, PR doesn't wait, lawyers don't work on vibes, staff expects salaries whether Netflix calls or not. Every single month, the bills stacked up quietly, relentlessly, while income slowed to a crawl. And here's the brutal truth fans don't like hearing: looking busy is not the same as making money. Archwell looked impressive on paper. Big statements, big language, big causes. But charity doesn't fund luxury living. Awareness doesn't pay security teams. Impact doesn't cover legal retainers. By 2025, the brand was talking loudly but earning softly. Projects stalled. Ideas stayed ideas. Delays became permanent. And delays are deadly when your lifestyle depends on the next deal always landing on time. That's when whispers turned into conclusions. Netflix wasn't renewing momentum. Spotify was already gone. No fresh blockbusters. No second act announcements. The pipeline dried up, and suddenly the Montecito setup stopped looking aspirational and started looking irresponsible. This is the moment nobody spins on camera. When you stop asking, what do I want next? And start asking, what can I cut before everything collapses? That's when the house becomes a liability. Too visible, too expensive, too hard to justify. And once that realization hits, ambition exits the room. What replaces it is damage control. That's how Florida entered the picture. Let's kill the fantasy right now. People don't leave Montecito for Florida because they're winning. They leave because staying stopped working. This wasn't a glow up. This wasn't reinvention. This wasn't a bold new chapter. Florida appeared when California became uncomfortable. Socially, financially, reputationally. California is where you build status. Florida is where you buy space. Space from Hollywood executives who stopped calling. Space from neighbors who stopped engaging. Space from reporters who stopped framing stories gently. If this move were strong, it would have come with announcements, new partners, new projects, new momentum. Instead, it came with rumors, jokes, and one repeated question: why Florida? That's not curiosity, that's doubt. And Florida doesn't offer the same social insulation Montecito does. There's no elite bubble softening perception, no polite silence. If something looks shaky, it gets noticed. If something feels desperate, people say it out loud, which makes this move dangerous. Because once you leave the last place that buffered decline, everything hits harder. Every quiet month, every delayed project, every missing announcement. Florida doesn't reset reputations, it tests them. And if that test goes wrong, there isn't another soft landing waiting. This is the part Meghan can't spin. For years, there was always a backup. If one platform failed, another appeared. If one circle cooled, another opened. If momentum slowed, something big was always coming. That safety net is gone now. Florida isn't a pause, it isn't a timeout. It's the final exam. No palace aura, no Hollywood patience, no powerful friend stepping in to smooth optics, just results. Or silence. And silence at this stage doesn't mean waiting. It means finished. Because when things don't work this late in the game, the reaction isn't outrage or mockery. It's indifference. People stop checking. Studios stop circling back. Celebrities stop being careful with distance. The press stops cushioning language. The phone simply doesn't ring. That's why this moment matters more than any interview, podcast, or carefully framed appearance. Not because it's loud, but because it's quiet. This is the first time Meghan Markle is moving forward with no institutional protection underneath her. No royal machinery. No Hollywood push. No elite social buffer. Just outcomes. And here's the final reality nobody wants to confront. If this move works, it has to work fast, not trend. trend, not spark debate for a week, not generate sympathy. It has to generate money, relevance, and momentum simultaneously. Because at this stage, brands don't get infinite reinventions. They get one last chance to prove they can still carry the weight of the lifestyle they promote. If Florida delivers, the narrative changes. If it doesn't, the story doesn't explode. It settles quietly, permanently. And that's the most dangerous ending of all. Dangerous ending of all. Dangerous ending of all.